Hello, how are you people? Hello, hello. How are we? How are we? How are we? All right. So now in today's video, we will be focusing. Actually, yesterday we were handling rewrites involving as well as in collaboration with and others. So now, as for today, we'll be handling rewrites involving if, involving unless, involving provided that, involving as long as, involving in case, involving not until, involving when. All right. So these kinds of rewrites are very much important and they are highly examinable. So you just have to know these kinds of rewrites because they are very, very, very highly examinable. And they are very much simple as well. Okay, so um, these kinds of rewrites, we call them as conditional, as conditional rewrites or clauses. We refer to them as conditional rewrites. Okay, so these kinds of rewrites, we refer to them as conditional rewrites. Mind you, the word conditional, it comes from the word condition. The word conditional, it comes from the word condition. And what does the word condition means? Condition simply means when you are given something, when you are given something to do before something else happens. Okay, so these are what we call conditional rewrites. Conditional, it comes from the word condition, which means when you are given something to do before something else what happens. So apart from this, you must also know that these kinds of rewrites, they deal with two things, or rather two outcomes. Number one, there is what we call a condition. These rewrites, they contain a condition and also a result. A result. All right. So these kinds of rewrites, they contain a condition and also a result. Okay. So like for example, if I say provided, if I write provided that you work, provided that you work, comma, I will pay you. You've seen? Provided that you work, I will pay you. So if you check very well, in this kind of sentence, this sentence is what we call a conditional sentence or a conditional clause. All right? Why? Because this kind of sentence, it contains two things. Number one, it contains a condition and also it contains a what? A result. So if I say, provided that you work, so provided that you work, it's a condition. Meaning what? Something has to do it, someone has to do it before he or she is awarded. Someone has to do this thing before he or she is awarded. You cannot be awarded minus you doing the actual condition that someone has what? Has a set unto you. So it reads, provided that you work, comma, I will pay. What does it simply mean? When a person pays, when someone works, that's when he or she will be paid. You have seen? So these kinds of rewrites, they contain a condition and also they contain a what? They contain a result part. Now, the other key thing that you must understand, we have words that we term them as what? These words, we term them as what? Conditional words. We term them as conditional words. So we have conditional words. Conditional words. So kinds of words like if, it's a conditional word. Apart from if, we have the word like unless. Unless it's a conditional word. Number three, we have the word when. When you do this kind of thing, I will so. It's a conditional word. So we have if, unless, when. Then apart from this, we also have this conditional word that is provided that. Provided that. We have provided that. Then 1, 2, 3, then 4. Then number 5. So number 1 we have if, number 2 we have unless, number 3 we have when, then number 4 we have provided that, then number 5 we have this kind of word. This kind of word which is in case. It's in case. Then number 6 we have also this word as long as. As long as. Alright, so these are some of the examples of our conditional words that are very much important, that one has to understand and know very well. And the way the questions they'll be asked, in the actual question that you are asked, you are going to see these conditional words. Now it's just a matter of replacing them. You'll be just replacing them. In the sentence, a sentence can start like this: unless you work, comma, I will not pay you. Like that. Now, then the question says begin if. You have seen? So where there's unless, you are going to replace if. If the sentence says, if in the question, or rather in the given sentence, there is the word unless, then the helping word, or rather it says begin if. Where there is if, where there is unless, replace it with what? If. Alright? If the sentence begins with it, or in the sentence if there is the word provided that, then the question says begin if. Where there is provided that, that's why you are going to replace with the word what? If. Alright? Okay, let us look at one example so that you see how simple these rewrites are. So we said provided that you work, comma, I will pay you. You've seen? Provided that you work, I will pay you. Now, if you check, then the sentence begins with what? If. Our helping word here is what? Is the word if. Provided that you work, I will pay you. Then begin if. So now if you check, we have said what? These are the conditional words that we have. Okay? We have number 1, if. Number 2, we have unless. Number 3, we have when. Number 4, we have provided that. Number 5, we have the word in case. Number 6, we have the word as long as. And even number 7, we have this conditional word, which is on condition of that. Okay, on condition of that, it's a conditional word as well. Alright, so these are some of the conditional words. Now, let us check. We have if, unless, when, provided that, in case, as long as, on condition of that. You have seen, so now let us check. Let us check our question. Our question reads, provided that you work, comma, I will pay you. You have seen? Provided that you work, I will pay you. So now if you check in our sentence here, what is a conditional word? Or what conditional word do we have here? If you check, we have this word, provided that. You have seen, we have this word, provided that. You have seen? So provided that here acts as a conditional word. So now, where this provided that, that's where now you are going to replace the word what? If. So our answer, we are going to start from here. You say if you work, comma, I will pay you. That's all. If you work, okay, comma, I will pay you. Okay. If you work, comma, I will pay you. You have seen? So the word here, provided that, it simply means if. You've seen? These are the words that they will be using in the actual sentence. All right, these are the actual things that they'll be what? Using. These are the actual words. Okay. Didi, how are you? How are you, Didi? Okay, yes. I am Zambian. Yes, yes, I am Zambian. Okay. So these are some of the words. If, unless, we have when, provided that, in case, then we have as long as, then we have on condition of that. So these are some of the what? Things. Okay, now we have answered this part. So provided that you work, comma, I will pay you. Then now begin if. So if you work, comma, I will pay you. So if you work, comma, I will pay you. You have seen this is how it's been done. Even if they say begin, unless, we are going to replace provided that. You have seen? So you say unless you work, you've seen? Unless you work, seen, comma. Mind you, the word unless simply means if not. The word unless means if not. So our rewrite will be like this. Unless you work, comma, I will not pay you. I will not pay you. All right? So unless you work, comma, I will not pay you. Okay? Then they can say begin as long as. Okay, so there's the other way you can rewrite unless. There's the other way. It's not only this one. There's also the other way you can write it. Okay, so it can also be like this. Here, since it says you work, provided that you work, comma, I will pay you. So it can be like this. Unless you fail to work, comma, I will pay you. This note, you are going to put it in place of what? The condition. So you say, unless you fail to work, comma, I will pay you. Remember the word unless simply means if not. So it can be like this. Unless you fail to work, I will pay you. Or the simplest one, you say, unless you work, comma, I will not pay you. Okay. So they can also say begin as long as. So you can write as long as you work, comma, I will pay you. So as long as you work, I will pay you. All right. So this is how it's done and written. Also, they can say begin, not until, like this, not until. All right. So now you have to be very much careful when the rewrite says not until. You have to be very much careful when the rewrite says not until. Yes, Stephen, how are you? How are you, Stephen? Okay, so from the same question, here it reads, provided that you work, I will pay you. Then the helping word here, it says not until. It says not until. Begins not until. So now if you check verbal, our helping word here, or our beginning word, it's not until. So it's not until, it's not until. So here it's very much important whereby you know that not until, the way we rewrite a rewrite which involve not until, you have to be very much careful because you have to look at two things. Number one, you have to identify the subject in the question, and also you have to identify the what? The verb in the what? In the sentence that you are given. So not until, you must make sure that you know the subject and also you know the what? The verb. Mind you, if I say a subject is simply a person under discussion. A subject is simply a person under discussion. Like for example, you can say I. I is a subject because it represents someone, a person. So I, apart from I, we have he, seen, she, even the name of the person. Okay, it can be Mary or it can be Christine. Okay, or Regina. So subject is simply a person under discussion. So words that are used to represent a subject are I, he, she, or the name of the person. It can be Mary, Regina, or other names. Then now you are going also, it's very much important whereby you also understand the verbs. You also understand the kinds of what? Of verbs. So the verbs that you should also know, like for example, the common ones, it can be can, will, let me say do, does, or all these kinds of words. Mind you, the way these questions are asked is that in the actual sentence that you'll be given, the subject will be following the verb. The subject will be following the verb. Like for example here, it says, provided that you work, I is the what? Is the subject, which means the person under discussion. So I, then we have will. You see? So will here represents a what? A verb. So will represents a verb. So here I is the what? Is the person under discussion. Then will, it's a verb. So when the rewrite says begin not until, make sure that you understand these two things. Know the subject of the question and also know the verb in the exact question that you have been given. So if you identify these key things in your answer now, you must swap them, you must interchange them. The result of your sentence, the result of your sentence must sound as if you are asking a question. The result of your question must sound as if you are asking a question. All right, I can write it like this. So you can say, since it says not until, so not until, it will be replaced with the word what? Provided that. So we are going to search from here where it says work, you work. So not until you work, you have seen, not until you work. Here you have seen where there is a comma. Then now here we have the word what? I, mind you, is a person under discussion, which means a subject. So I, then we have will. So it will be like this, not until you work, then now say comma. You have to interchange these two what? Words. You have to interchange the subject and the what? And the verb. So your outcome, or rather the result part of your sentence, must sound as if you are asking a question. So not until you work, you're going to say, will I, as if you're asking a question, will I pay you? You have seen? Will I pay you? You have seen? So not until you work, say comma, will I pay you? This is how it's written. So the outcome of your rewrite, when the helping word is not until, make sure that your outcome, or rather the result, must sound as if you're asking a question. By changing the what? By changing the verb, by interchanging the verb and the subject. So will I pay you? Mind you, don't put a question mark, put a full stop. Yes, it sounds as if it's asking, like you're asking a question, but it's advisable to put a what? A full stop. All right, I think we have gotten one or two things. Okay, let us answer now these kinds of questions. Steven, I am doing fine. Okay. Number one, it reads, on condition that you pass the exam. On condition that you pass the exam, I will sponsor you. On condition that you pass the exam, I will sponsor you. You see? So now let's be very much careful here. The first key thing, start identifying. First key thing, identify the word, the conditional word. What is the conditional word here? Okay, let us go back to our Let us go back now to our actual words. So conditional words, we have if, we have unless, we have when, we have provided that, we have in case, we have as long as, we have or, we have conditional that. So now if you check from our actual sentence, our sentence reads what? It says, on condition that you pass the exam, I will sponsor you. You see? So what is our conditional word here? Excellent work. Good work. It's on condition that. Okay? So on condition that here, it's our what? It's our conditional word. Excellent work. So since we have identified our conditional word, so if it's going to replace the word on conditional that, unless it's going to replace the word unconditional that, provided that is going to replace the word unconditional that, then as long as it's going to replace the word unconditional that, in case it's going to replace the word unconditional that, then not until it's going to replace the word unconditional that, then lastly when, right, it's going to replace the word unconditional that. So since we have identified the conditional word, where are we going to start from? Where are we going to start from? Okay, thank you very much, Beginner Secrets. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Where are you watching me from? Okay, so since we have identified our conditional word, what are we going to do? Simple. We are going to do this. From here up to that, it's a conditional word. So we are going to start from here where it says you. So you say if, okay, you write if you pass the exam, okay, if you pass, okay, so if you pass the exam, so if you pass the exam, comma, I will what? Sponsor you. I will sponsor you. Then full stop. You see how simple these rewrites are. On condition that you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Then now begin if. So if you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Okay? If you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Now let us look at the unless. It says begin unless, the same format. So we are going to use unless you, because unless is going to replace the word on conditional that. So unless you pass, say unless you pass the exam. So you're going to write unless you pass the exam, comma, mind you, the word unless, it means if not. Okay, unless you pass the exam, comma, say I will not sponsor you. I will not sponsor you. Or this can be written in the other form. It can be like this, unless the opposite of passing is failing. If you say unless you fail the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. All right? Mind you, the word unless simply means if not. So you can write it like this, unless you pass the exam, comma, I will not sponsor you. The not part, the negativity, it will be in the result part. You see, after the comma, we have some negativity here because of the word what? Not. So it can be, I will not sponsor you. Or if you want, you can write it in the other way around, saying, in the condition, on the conditional part, you are going to look for the what? For the word or the main base, which is pass. So unless you pass the exam, so what is the opposite of pass? Is fail. You can say, unless you fail the exam, unless you fail, you are laughing at English. It's to be hard. It's to be hard. All right. So, or you can write it as, unless you fail the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Why? Because unless it means if not, it has some negativity already. All right. Then it's the other word, it's provided that. So if you check, provided that is going to replace the word on conditional that. So the same format. So you're going to write provided that you pass the exam, provided that you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. I will sponsor you. So provided that you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Provided that you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Then the other one, as long as, so you just write as long as you pass the exam, as long as you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. I will sponsor you. You have seen? As long as you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. As long as you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. Then it says in case. So in case you pass the exam, comma, you can write I will sponsor you. Okay, then not until, mind you, when the rewrite says not until, be very much careful. Make sure that you first identify the subject and the verb. So if let us identify them. So here if you check, on condition that you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. So check, we have the word I, which represents a what? A subject. Mind you, a subject is a person under discussion. So I, then after I, we have what? Will. So make sure your outcome must sound as if you are asking a question. So it will be, will I sponsor you? When the rewrite says not until, mind you, the first key thing that you must identify the subject and the verb in the actual sentence that you have been given. Okay. So you're going to write not until, mind you, it's going to replace the word on condition of that. Beginner, thank you very much for sharing this video. Thank you very much. So not until you pass. So you're going to write not until you pass the exam. So you're going to write not until you pass the exam, okay, comma, then I'm going to write will I, as if you're asking. Say will I, mind you, I is always capitalized in English. I, you should always write letter I in capital letters. So not until you pass the exam, comma, will I sponsor you? Will I sponsor you? Full stop. So not until you pass the exam, comma, will I sponsor you? So not until you pass the exam, comma, will I sponsor you? This is how it should be written. Okay. Then lastly, it says when. Way too easy. So you just write when you pass the exam, comma, when you pass the exam, comma, I will sponsor you. I will sponsor you. All right, so these were the answers that were expected to this question. All right, so thank you very much for joining this live. Thank you very much for joining this live. Thank you very much, guys. I'll be ending the live now. I'll be ending the live now. So let me check. People have sent some comments. Okay, Lisa. Yes, I am very much fine about you, Lisa. Lisa Hibanyama. Okay, watching you from Mazabuga. Okay, you are from Mazabuga. Okay, Southern Province. Nice to see that Southern Province. It's watching. Okay, I've seen Didi and also Steven and others, and also beginner. Thank you very much, guys. If there are questions, mind you can ask me some before I end the live. If there are questions, don't hesitate to ask. All right, don't hesitate. Okay, don't hesitate to ask questions. Okay, you can ask me questions. You can ask me questions if there are any. Steven, is everything okay? Lisa, yeah, from Southern Province. Is everything okay? If there are questions, you can ask me some. If there are questions, don't hesitate to ask me some. I will respond unto you. Okay, everything is okay. Thank you very much, guys, for joining this live. This was your presenter, or rather your tutor, Bright Mulekwa Tutor. Thank you very much.